Right, I want to start with the COVID situation, really. It's, I think, important that we cover it with the situation, what's happening at Tottenham. Has it changed the protocols that you're having to go through now at Burnley?
It will be doing. I think there's news come through this morning, actually, to our medical side. So we'll put whatever we need to put in place, advise the best we can, try to adhere to the rules the best we can, and do what we can to play our part. As to be fair, the Premier League and football has done for a long time now.
How much of a concern is it for you that you might face a situation in the future like Antonio Conte's got at Tottenham?
Well, I don't think we can. We're all trying to live our lives in some kind of normal. I don't think we can constantly worry about it. It's not ideal. I'm sure of that, quite obviously. But I think we've just got to, like I said, adhere to the rules that are advised from the medical situation, and hope that it doesn't happen. Hope that it doesn't have an outbreak or a pod or whatever you wish to use. In your group and your team. And if so, just, it doesn't affect anyone. We've had one with Dale Stevens recently. It was a one-off, no one else involved. And that's what you're hoping for, to kind of bring a protective element to what we're trying to do. And the bigger picture, of course, is the game schedule as well. That we don't, it's no one's fault, quite obviously, but you know what I mean? It knocks onto the game schedule and how many games keep getting replaced and stuff like that. So there's a lot more to it than just health is the main thing. But then behind that, there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of organisation. There's a lot of things it knocks onto.
Absolutely. Now, with the new rules that have come out from the government, as of next week, fans entering the stadium must show a COVID passport. Is that something you are in agreement with, you think is a good idea, or is it a worry that it might deter some fans from turning up?
Well, it's not for me to decide that. There's a much bigger situation going on than fans in stadiums. We all know that. So the medical powers that be, the people who guide the Premier League and ourselves way above us or make them decisions. We ideally want fans in stadiums, quite obviously. It's great to have fans back in stadiums because it basically is a good message about the well-being of everyone or the betterment of everyone. Of course, if that changes, then that's the way it goes. The guidelines they bring in, yet again, as football clubs, we'll just have to try and adhere to. Hopefully it won't affect fans in a way that stops them coming into stadiums. Look, everyone's trying to find their way through this, and I don't think it's an easy situation. And, even with these different outbreaks and things like that, it's just how many different outbreaks there are, how many times we change, I suppose. That's going to be the big dilemma for the scientists, the medical, and the bigger picture of what's going on.
Moving away from that, sticking with what the government have kind of been talking about last week, one thing they did say, that Christmas parties can still go on. Are Burnley going to have a Christmas party this year?
Done
already?
Yep.
Fantastic. There we go. Was it good?
I wasn't there.
Are you sure you weren't there, or?
I'm positive I weren't there. They weren't my party.
Did the players have a good time?
I believe so.
Good stuff. Right, let's move on to Sunday. Any fitness concerns? Obviously, Maxwell Cornet came off early in the Newcastle game. How's he shaping up for the weekend? Yeah,
we'll wait and see with Maxwell. Outside chance, I would say. Ben Mee's shoulder's settling down, but we'll make a judgment call on that tomorrow. Barnes is still a bit of a way. Dale's still coming out the COVID situation. He's well in general, by the way. I think that the initial one's a few aches and pains and a bit of management going into another 3-game week. But generally, everyone else should be there or thereabouts.
And how are you and the squad feeling moving into, obviously, a really busy festive period? You need to pick up results. Is confidence still high amongst the group?
Yeah, I believe so. I think they believe in what they know themselves of how they play and what we're trying to do and to make things happen rather than wait for them. I think we're trying to be proactive. The details are massive. I mention it all the time. They know that. They're aware of it. The busy period this time round actually is not as busy as we've had down the years because we have got an extra day in between certain games. But generally, of course, it is busy in the sense of more games. Look, we're equipped to go through that. We'd like the injuries to be back fit and the ones that have got little knocks. We hope that the 3-game week we can get through that and get good results and keep everyone fit going into the Christmas period or the true Christmas spell. Generally, the mentality is good. I've never really questioned it this season. It's more the details that I've been questioning and trying to work with the team on correcting that.
And next up is West Ham. What sort of job Or have you been impressed, shall I say, with what the job David Moyes has done, particularly, on the back of last season qualifying for the Europa League and backing it up again this season with their performances?
I think it's fantastic. I've always been a fan of his and what he's tried to do in the game and the varying spells he's had. I saw him recently actually at a meeting and spoke openly about what I think of how he's sort of got a club, it seems to me, pointing in the right direction with the players, the fans, the feel of the club. Stuart Pearce is there, he's a good friend of mine, top fella as well, who's working with him, and Alan. I think they've got good people there working with the team. A lot of respect for them, and obviously as he knows and we know, that respect goes out the window once the whistle blows, and then when it the whistle blows at the end, then it all comes back in and we get on with things. But he'll know. I think him and his staff know. We're active, the way we're playing. We're not far away from what can be very competitive and get more results, I believe. And I don't know, but I get the feeling he knows about us. He knows what we're doing. I think he'll probably think that we're certainly a side that'll be up for the challenge. They are having a good season, but we're not far away, I don't believe. And
what sort of challenge are you expecting from West Ham, because their confidence is very high right now after the result against Chelsea? Yeah,
big result against Chelsea, and then they made loads of changes last night, so you can't really look at that in the same way. No, massive result against Chelsea. They just had their first little quiet spell, without being by no means a poor spell, just a bit quiet, from their early season form, and then of course you beat Chelsea and it all looks different. So no, look, they've become a strong outfit, particularly this season. And fair play to them. The fact is we play a lot of strong outfits in the Premier League. Everyone's a challenge, no matter where they are in the division. So, we've got to be ready. We will be, and we'll be ready to take it on.
Just a couple more from me. Back onto Maxwell Cornet. Obviously, we don't know whether he's going to be fit enough yet to play, but how important has he been since arriving at the club, and how much has he changed maybe the style of play a little bit of your side?
Well, using him in the wide area, using him in the sort of number 10 slot, loosely. We want him to activate with his qualities that he has. Very unfortunate with a couple of injuries. That can happen. I did suggest that it'd take him time to get up to true Premier League's true fitness, because he's a fit fella, but that real edge of fitness that the Premier League sometimes offers players and the demands of it. But no, he's had a positive effect. I think Nathan Collins done very well as well. Connor Roberts is another one. He's one I should mention. Sorry, he's gone down ill this week, quite ill. So he's had a number of days off. But he's another one who's looking to affect the group. So no, it's not just about Max, but he's certainly affected the group and had a good feel about what he's done so far.
A final one from me, completely different as well. On Sunday, it's the culmination of the F1 World Championship. It's going to be taking place while you might be a little bit preoccupied with West Ham. But I wondered if you've got an opinion whether Lewis Hamilton can win his 8th World Championship.
I have absolutely no clue. I don't follow it. I've been on one occasion, kindly got looked after. Very, very enjoyable experience, but I don't follow it. I don't know enough about it. May the best person win.
That's fair enough. Right, Sean, good luck on Sunday. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. Katie, do you want to go next?
Yeah, hi Sean.
Hiya.
Without harping on about Maxwell too much, I have got one little question.
Danny Ings. Let's bring back Danny Ings.
And the opportunities did seem to dwindle against Newcastle after he was forced off injured. Do you worry that you need more players like Maxwell that can bring that creative magic?
Well, we've had 7 out of 8 seasons in the Premier League, and he's only been here for a number of games, so it's fair to say that we can perform in the Premier League. We've got not the same players as sort of 6-7 years ago, but we've got some similar players. So therefore, we have found our way through Premier League seasons and done very nicely at times. So I've certainly got total belief in all the players we have here. All we were looking for Maxwell to come in and do is give us something different, that's all. But when he's not there, then we've still got players who can perform in the Premier League, score goals, win games, and do what we have to do.
You've talked about converting those cutting-edge moments in the top third, which have continued to be a downfall, and of course talking of the fine margins all the time. So how do you manage the frustrations perhaps of yourself and of your players when you see these hard and organised performances go unrewarded with the win or 3 points?
Well, we feed back to the players, they feed back to us, the things that they think we could do, what we think we could do, we analyse, we show them some of the reasons. They're a good group here. There's a real authenticity to how we work here, and the players deserve a lot of credit for that. I'm always proud of the work they put in. They're very honest. They know there's times when we could have done better on the attacking front and defending front at times this season. Equally, there's a good unity in what we do. So I don't think, you've got to be careful with mentality towards football. You can't overthink everything. We've had spells before where it hasn't gone our way. We've had spells where we're not scoring and then we are scoring and it all looks different. So, it is one of them challenges where it's coach enough, speak about it enough, analyse it enough, and then sometimes pull away from it and trust the fact that you've got a group of players who know what they're doing. They know how to deliver. They know when to deliver. And now it is just about finding their moments and that delivery of a moment. So, yeah, we're trying to find the balance of coaching, push and pull, I call it, pushing enough onto them to say, look, we need more, this is how we can do it, and pulling away to say, no, we trust you. Which I do. I trust this group, that's for sure.
And last one from me, West Ham have not kept a clean sheet in 7 away Premier League games against Burnley. Do you think there are still areas in the defence there that you can exploit?
I think they're a good unit. That's what I think. So if we're gonna exploit anything, we can only do it from our performance and not worry too much about what they offer. We have to make the players aware, but it's more about what we do. It always is in the Premier League. It's one thing I've clearly come to understand. You have to be aware of the opposition, but you have to make sure that your team's ready to go and play and do all the things you need to do to win a Premier League game. So that'll be our focus.